Hello, collectors of distinct Japanese classic vehicles. I was watching another YouTube channel, Whale Season Uno 64, and he's gone on quite a tear with purchasing some TLVs. And in one of those reviews, he does a TLV review of this car, the Nissan Violet. But, I don't really love this car so much. So I figured I'd go with the cheaper option. And this is made by a company called Konami. So let's take a look-see here. Some old stock here. Card is barely on. So it seems like this is body code KP710, and it's from 1973. The SSS is because in America, Chevy was using SS for its Camaros, and so they had the copyright to that name. So Nissan just added a third S instead of and everything they said made is an SSS. So 3 times is super sporty. Okay, let's look at this picture here. Compared to that photo, well, it's pretty washed out. I don't know if that photo has a black grille or it's a chrome grille. Might be a different package, but the wheels are similar. Alright, so the Nissan Violet is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive vehicle. And this is the first generation, as being a 1973. But it actually the line was sold up until 1991. It was the first Nissan to have Coke bottle styling. I'm not sure if I see any sort of Coke bottle styling in this, but that's what Wikipedia is saying. And the SSS package got you rear independent suspension, while the other ones just had leaf springs. And then the engine choices were 1.4 to 2 liter inline 4s, and making around 100 horsepower for the larger ones. Okay, so that's really all I learned about the car, so let's take a look here at this model now. Now, being a Konami, it should have suspension. Not all of them do, but this one does, and this one is from 2005. So it's got treaded tires, same tires as most other Konamis. A little silver painted exhaust tip like most others as well, and it's press fit together, so problems might be difficult to fix without drilling that apart, or same with wheel swaps. And speaking of wheels, I mean, they do look kind of like they're molded very similar to those photographs. The only thing missing is the black paint in these little rectangles. Other than that, they're pretty spot on. Naturally, I would prefer to have air here, or maybe not. These actually, I think, are hubcaps, because they're actually domed outwards. So actually, that probably is black paint on the real hubcap. So that's actually pretty accurate. Now the paint color on this is pretty nice. It's a dark blue. What I'm trying to decipher is it metallic. I think it is metallic. I kind of feel like I see some really fine speckling there. Okay, so being a dark color, it's nice to see, easy to see the violet printing here. This marker signal is totally missing the mark, unfortunately. There's a bump here and the silver's way below it. Okay, well, now we have something there. I don't know if we can read anything on that though. No, it's just kind of some sort of insignia, red with a box in it. I'm sure it probably does say something on the real car, maybe SSS or something. Some silver paint here around the window. Let's go with the interior now. Look at this. This is pretty sweet. It's white or off-white, but the steering wheel probably has a different color. Seems like it's a black steering wheel and black dashboard. There's some molded details there in the dashboard as well. The doors have silver on the... I think there's a silver there. What about the front door? Can't tell. Alright, but the back one, it looks like there's a window wind down. I remember I used to actually have to wind my window up and down a long time ago, before power windows. That was in my parents' car. Okay, so some paint rash here. It's a pretty old model, sadly, and that's what happens with a lot of these models. It's also a big scratch, or actually I think the paint might be cracking, like it's fractured. You know, expansion of the metal over time, contraction, expansion might have led to that. Nice printing here, Nissan. Nice printing there, Violet or Violet. Some fading of the paint here on these lights. Orange and red are now pink. This is nice. Chromed plastic. And what's the deal? Okay, so that's the body color, but it's kind of oversprayed onto the chrome bumper, which is weird because this is a separate bumper. So like, it's like they put the chrome bumper on the vehicle before they painted the blue here, which makes no sense at all. Wouldn't it make sense to paint the whole casting blue and then add the pieces after that? So that's another strange anomaly when it comes to my collecting these diecasts. Plain white license plate, pretty thick, but it doesn't bother me. Okay, this side we got a fuel filler door back here. Same. Door handle sticks out. I gotta say, it's an interesting styling. You don't see too many cars that have the shoulder line go up a little bit, then go sag down, and then go up again. It's almost like a suspension bridge sagging. Most lines go the other way, but it's growing on me. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll buy that TLV and do comparison. Okay, the front end. We got 4 inserted lights, and there seems to be a badge of some sort there. Some sort of gray paint in this grill. This whole bumper grill thing is a chromed plastic piece, and then we got some orange blinkers painted on. No license plate up front, but that's fine by me. There's no printing on the license plate, I'd rather have none. And then look at that, that looks pretty good. It says 1600 SSS. Okay, more paint rash. Silver window trim. Weird floating wiper blades. Like, they're just floating there. And they're not painted. Maybe it's for the best that they're not painted. Alright, so, well, I didn't pay a great deal amount of money for this, so I'm okay with it. You know, naturally if the paint was nicer that'd be great, but I mean this is a 15, 16-year-old model, and I can't imagine this model cost more than $5 when it was new. Maybe it was like $3 or $4 back then. Alright, well, let's compare to a few other cars here. Now naturally I don't have that TLV, but from the same time frame, Honda's first Civic. This is also by Konami, but this one's from 2004, so it's a different collection, I think. Smaller vehicle, of course. And then Nissan also had the Ken Mary Skylines, so here's a coupe version of it, and this is by Kyosho. So much bigger vehicle there. And then we have a 240Z, and this one also is from Konami, but 2004. So possibly the same collection as that Honda Civic. And pleasantly, I don't think my Z actually has a paint rash, or I'm not seeing any. So that's good. But I like the brown steering wheel that Konami did on that Z. Alright, so I think that's it for the comparisons. Other Nissans and that one Honda. Well, as I first said, if you like unique Japanese cars and you don't want to buy a TLV, you might want to look up this Konami. It's nice that this thing has a colorful interior. I know some of my other old Konamis don't have paint rash, although I would have to guess that most of them do. It's a greater percentage probably do have some paint rash, so I have to forewarn you on that. Alright. Well, anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully you'll stay tuned for the next review. Thanks.